we use credit card, the financial institution that issue the credit card to us clearly understand the grace period of 21 to 22 days of grace period. They have an idea that we can repay the money within 90 to 120 days based on our financial historical data. If we are able to pay the credit card back within 21 to 22 days, it's good for us. If we are unable to pay within that grace period, it is good for them. So, why is it good for us if we are able to pay within the grace period? What it means, two things it means. We are able to use somebody else's money within that 21, 22 days without any cost to us. If we are unable to repay that amount that we spend on credit card within that grace period, then it is an advantage to them because that's how they make money. They charge us interest on the amount that we pay, on the amount that we spend on the credit card for them to make money. What does that mean? The credit card company doesn't make money if they don't get interest. I'm going to say that again. The credit card company does not make money if they don't get interest on the money that we pay. That is, if we don't extend the payment of the amount we spend on credit card beyond the grace period, we're not going to pay interest. They're not going to earn any money. That is logic. Now, there's another catch to that. The credit card doesn't want to lose money, so they strategically calculate the credit limit, how much of credit they want to extend to you and I. Just in case we default, we're unable to pay the credit card. So they know the amount of credit limit they can extend to you and I based on our income, expenses, passive income, the historical financial activities that they are able to retrieve to determine our credit score. Usually they are comfortable. They are comfortable whenever our expenses is less than 33% or 35% of our income. I'm going to say that again. Financial institutions are comfortable with us giving giving us credit card or extending credibility to us whenever our periodical expenses are lower than our periodical incomes. What does that mean? That we have excess in our disposable income. We have excess of disposable income to pay our liabilities. That is, what they are saying is, we know that the amount we're going to spend on the credit card, we have it at on before we spend it on the credit card. Everybody is trying to play safe. That is what it means. Now, over the last two decades, financial institutions realized that our disposable income, the margin between our expenses and disposable income, is much, much higher. So they introduce something that will attract us to use our credit card. That they want to give us incentive, which they call cashback. That for every $100, we're going to give you 2% back. If you spend this in the restaurant, you get 5%. You spend this on gas. So they strategically calculate what we need to spend what we spend our money frequently on. Restaurant would know, they know that we're going to buy food. So instead of us paying cash, they say to us, use your credit card, we're going to give you cash back. Knowing that some of us might not be able to pay those charges we are unable to pay it back within the grace period. So they charge us interest. And out of interest they charge us, they give us a little back. Is that not smart? They charge us interest of 30%, 29%. They now say, oh, we're going to give you 2% back. What does that mean? They're charging us 27% interest. Smart. They're doing neuromarketing. They get into our brain. They're getting into our brain and making money off of us. But for some of us who are also smart, who can think ahead of the credit card company, know that we have that $100 we're going to charge today. We have it at on in our disposable income. We are ready to pay within 15, 20 days. Within the grace period, we're going to pay it back. So for every $100 we spend, and the credit card company is ready to give us 5% back, that means the credit card will be paying us $5 to spend $100 without interest. That is, for every $100 that we spend, if you are smart, you are actually spending $95. Somebody is subsidizing your spending. I'm going to repeat that. Somebody is subsidizing your spending for you. What does that mean? If you want to spend $100 and you have that $100, keep that $100 in your account. Spend the credit card. Pay that $100 back within the grace period. At the end of the billing cycle, you see $5 credits on your statement. So if you are spending $100, you actually pay $95 back. If you are spending 1,000, you actually pay $950 back on 5% cash back. 10,000, you pay 9,500 cash back. A good example, if you are a new home owner and you have a credit card that is like 50,000 credit limit, which is not much, and you have to repair the AC unit in the new condo that you bought for 10,000. You have that $10,000 cash. Don't spend that cash immediately. You can go to the company, especially the company. This is how to get smart. The company that say if you have an expenses, the unit is 10,000. You pay in cash. You pay 9,000. That's $1,000 off. Use your credit card for 9,000. You already have that 9,000 at hand in disposable income. Expense that credit card. Pay that 9,000 within the grace period. You get $450 back in addition. That is 1,450. You have for yourself by being smart. By being strategically smart and purposefully take advantage legally of the benefit that is attached to the credit. You did not cheat anybody. You did not do anything illegal. You are being smart. You getting more money to your hand. You're increasing your credibility, and you're making everything easy. You are debt free also. What is the campaign I'm putting before you? Do not spend or do not charge credit card that the amount that you don't have at hand. If you don't have $10 at hand to pay within this grace period, don't charge that $10. If you don't have that $50 to pay within the grace period, don't charge that $50. If you don't have that 1,000 to pay within the grace period, don't charge that $1,000. Because before you know it, grace period will come and pass, and you start accumulating charges, interest. The concept of credit card, one of the primary purpose, if you are smart, is for you to make more money. You see credit card, if you are very smart, you see credit card as a form of passive investment. Yeah, passive investment is smart. How do you do that? You are very purposeful, strategically purposeful. You are very strategically purposeful. I'm going to give you a sample. I'm supposed to have buy some IT kit items like changing my computers, buy a new iPad, buy new electronics in the house. But I'm waiting for possibility of rejection that I will take advantage of it. knowing that I can see continually using the one that I have at hand, including my automobile. I'm waiting when there will be 0% that it used to. When I bought the last automobile in 2018, a new car was 0% that time. That I took advantage. And I've been able to pay off that automobile. So I'm waiting. My car is still drivable. Why? I'm waiting for two things: to take advantage of credit I can get, also interest free. So you have to be strategically purposeful in taking advantage of credit card. So be smart. You must have learned new thing today concerning credit cards. Let's talk of student loans. Stafford subsidized student loan and subsidized private loan, signature loan. You are better off to look for subsidized option. And when it comes to unsubsidized student loan, the Stafford loan, if your credit is good or you have other option that will give you zero interest rate, like borrowing money from family members, community banks, friends, organizations that charge you little or lower interest rate compared to the Stafford loan or signature loan, take advantage of them. Another way for your school, if your school have payment plan without interest, I'm going to repeat that. If your school have payment plan without interest, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. No interest is better than interest. Or you can make arrangement with the financial institution, your community bank or credit union. Instead of you borrowing 5,000 at a time, and your school agree to pay 1,025, 250, 1,250, 1,004 times, then go and take the loan that 4 times from your community bank with low interest. Don't take the 5,000 at a time. Why? You are dealing with time. You are dealing with cumulative interest that you're going to avoid. You are being smart. You define the interest. You are taking advantage of the payment plan that your school has. Hey, take note of that. Write it down if you are in that category of saving money. You do not have anything to lose when you do that. But be wary of credit card. I'm going to go back to that. Whether it's secure card or non secure card. In fact, indirectly, secure card is worst. How can I be asking you? This is technical. part of it. For me to borrow you $500, I need you to deposit $1,000 first. Ah, does that make sense? Why will you borrow what you have at hand? You see, financial institutions are asking you, does that smart? That doesn't make sense. For a financial institution to ask me to deposit $1,000 with them and then borrow $500. Oh, Tufuaka. What does that mean in African language? May God forbid. I'm too smart to do that. Can I give you my money and then borrow money from you again? If I give you my money, you're using my money to invest in something else, and then you're borrowing me another money to be paying interest on it for you. May God forbid. I will never do that. That is what it means. Some people will make argument that you want to establish credibility. To hell with that credibility. If you are young and your parents, your mom or your dad or your uncle, they already have a credit card, to establish a credibility, they can add it to their account. They don't have to give you the credit card to use. They can just add you. As they spend and pay and credibility, that credibility is extending to your own credit line of Social Security. You're establishing it. Don't be fooled with all those terminology. Though you establish the credit, you are doing that. It's all bullshit. Excuse my language. And some we also say stock card. Stock card with credit. Well, the stock card kind of put you in the box to buy what you don't need. It inspires you to buy what you want, but you don't need it. That's the disadvantages of stock, because you have to use the card in their store to buy something. And if they are giving you 20% discount, they already grossed the item up with 40% discount premium. I hope you take to this to change your perspective, personal perspective about credit. There are different type of credit card. You have Visa, Mastercard. You have American Express. You have all those stuff. Yes, they are good. One of advantages of credit card is for you to take advantages of them. If you cannot do that, then the other advantage is for emergency purposes. You have emergency purposes. You have a blow up tire that will cost you $250 to buy or $300. You don't have that amount on you that particular time, but you can get it within the grace period. Swipe the card. You have emergency medical bill that you have to pay certain amount of money for medication at the pharmacist, and you know you can afford to pay it back within the grace period. Swipe the card. Never use credit card for vacation. Never use credit card for vacation. Never use credit card to buy high ticket item that you will not be able to pay back within the grace period. Never use credit card to buy home appliances, laundry machine, dishwasher, refrigerator, range, item that you know you cannot pay them back within the grace period. Don't do that. Layaway. Layaway is form of a scam. That's a legalized scam that most this retail store use to lock you in a scheme that they will be charging you interest. Be careful. There should be advantage of you taking this class or watching this video. Don't fall victim, please. I'll be highly disappointed after you watch this video and all this thing are happening to you. Okay, I have a client that is owing IRS about $23,000, almost. And the payment plan with interest, applicable interest, is about 30% interest on the payment plan. And the individual client wanted to charge that amount on a credit card of 29.7%. And I said to that client, if I allow you to do that I'm not being professional in what I'm doing. Do payment plan with IRS with lower interest than charging it on your credit card. Simple. Most of you just take rational decision. If afraid of IRS, they're not. They're human beings. That will interface, and they want to make your life easier compared to that of credit card. Why you want to run from IRS to credit card company? It's like you are running from a doctor's office that intend to give you an injection to make you feel better, to switch of buying additional eye drug that will make you feel better within 5-10 minutes and kill you instantly, than staying with the doctor that will inject you and treat you well medically. Just an analogy. For those of you who see IRS as otherwise, I hope you understand the concept of this. credibility, credit history. So I'm going to be moving on to chapter 6, the credit bureau. I think there are 3 or 4 of them, the experience, and they are credit agency that keep record of your credit score. They do not do any other thing other than to keep track of your credit. They do not do any other thing other than to keep record of your credit score. I think I have a lot of contact over there. They keep record of your credit score, credit certificates. That's what credit bureau do. Why? They are the custodian of your financial data. They are the custodian of financial data, and sometimes when they keep your record, there are few organizations or individuals that have access to that credit data, the financial data, historical data that you have. And they have implication how they score you. The score you get often have direct implication on credibility, business organization, or individual extent to you. Yes. But they keeping the financial data, the financial record. Many a times, those data can be erroneous. They can be wrong because it's human being that collates them, that reports them, that organize them and interpret them to make decisions. So their tendency for error, their tendency for mistakes. So if they have something ABCD for you instead of ABC, you can contend it with proven evidences that, oh, this is not you, or this is too much for you, this is too short of a record. This have negative implication on your record. This is over exaggeration. When you contend it, you send them the validated evidences. They will correct their record. If you don't do that, it will continue to affect your record for a certain period of time. Financial historical data or historical financial data a record of what has happened in the past. There are some circumstances that happened to you in the past that you have no control over, but just to allow them to happen. If you have solidified, validated, documented reasons or evidences that those circumstances are no longer happening to you, you can provide those evidences to those credible and they will correct it. Those are extenuating circumstances you have no control over, but they are no longer existing. But it's still existing on your record. You can correct it. Also, if your social security number and personal data has been compromised, the people take advantage of your personal data. You can put awareness on it, on your social security number. Now, before any credit transaction or financial transaction take place on your social security number, that they alert you on this social number first. It can include your phone number that they call. They send email to you. They send a text or send a letter to your validated address to ascertain that it is you. Those are the three ways you can interface or interact with credit bureau. But the later is the best. The credit score ranges between 0 to 850. The higher your score is, the better the credibility you get. But mindfully, for personal benefit, do not let your periodical expenses more than 35% of your periodical income. And make sure that your passive income at some point is higher than your periodical expenses in order to attain financial independence. So that will take us to auto loan and mortgage, home loan. When you come to auto, what I would suggest, cut your quote according to your size. Cut your quote according to your size. Don't let anyone deceive you. You have your life to live. If my friend or my colleague drive Bentley, I don't have to drive Bentley. I can admire it. Yeah, good thing is good. Luxury thing is good. But if I cannot afford Bentley and my income only can afford Ford Focus, stay with Ford Focus. At some point, you will be able to afford Bentley. And you will see that those that are driving Bentley now will eventually downgrade it to lower fashion because they don't stay within their limit at the time. So don't use somebody else's watch to determine your own life pattern. I'm talking up imparably here. Is what you cannot afford, don't try it. Don't put too much meat in your mouth, more than what you can chew. Because your uncle, your niece, your cousin do this. If you cannot afford to do that time, don't copycat. Automobile are released, new edition are released every year. If you happen that you can manage within 3-4 years to afford something better, do that. I'm a living testimony of that. When we just finished our degree, and my colleagues were buying Lexus E300, 350 that time. I was driving a Toyota Camry. I stayed within my limit. 2-3 years later, I was kind of better off because I was able to buy my first condo years back. And when I bought a condo for $68,000 in Bridgeport, Connecticut, I deposited about $4,000. 3-bedroom condo. So I leased out one room to a graduate student that was paying me $500. My mortgage was $385 that time. So what I did was the tenant was paid $500. So I was also saving another $500 and paying toward my mortgage every month instead of $385. So in that time, I pay off the mortgage. So someone was encouraging me to take line of equity. I said, no, that's another loan upon loan. No, I'm going to be using disposable income for saving to buy another property. And that's what I did. So when you come to Oro, be careful. It's good to buy a new car or a new vehicle. But if you cannot afford it, stay within your limits. You don't have to start with luxury vehicle. Start with basic, standard, then luxury. When it comes to taking out auto loan, even home loan or mortgage, I would suggest that you start with your community banks or credit union because their charges. Community bank and credit union look out for the interest of the citizen. Commercial bank focus on interests and charges, because what commercial bank does, they get your deposit, lend it out, get higher interest rate. They pay the depositor very minimal interest. So the other money, they make more money from interest and charges too. So as a beginner, you are better off with your community banks or credit union. The closing cost of most of this credit union is within 2.5% to 3%. You can't beat that anywhere. For commercial bank, 2.5% of the does not even cover the Anthony fee of commercial bank. I'm not an enemy or anti-commercial bank. I'm just telling you the way it is. So home loan or mortgage, stay within what you can afford. And when you come to mortgage, the moment your expenses is more than 35% of your periodical income, you might have a little challenge in getting your loan approved. But the lower it is to 35%, the quicker the loan will be approved. In recap, be mindful that credit card is not free money. Credit card has grace period, either 21 to 22 days. You will pay for the cost of charging credit card if you don't pay within grace period. Credit card is like a cancer. If you don't take care of the interest, it will continually grow. And that's what made credit card company to be happy. They will be living off you in terms of the interest. The earlier you pay it, the better. Remember, the credit card is good if you are smart, that you can make more money from them. That the credit card company might end up paying you for charging their card. And that's how it should be from individual perspective. The credit card also is good for emergency purposes. Secure credit card is a scam. Like I explained, you paying somebody, you depositing your money, somebody that will be lending you money back with interest. Does that make sense? That store card as a locking, designed as a locking structure to buy what you want compared to what you need. So you might end up with a lot of junk in the house that you don't need, that you just buy it because you want it that time. The stock card and credit card might encourage you to be comfortable in spontaneous purchases. I'm going to repeat that. Spontaneous purchases that you don't check your brain. Just buy. You just buy. There's nothing bad in purchases. Like I said in previously, when you buy out of the season, you save a lot of money. You buy Christmas item in January, they're being discounted up to like 90%. You keep it until next Christmas. Nobody know that you bought it early. Nobody will know you bought it out of season. Auto. Don't buy luxury car or luxury vehicle you cannot afford. When you are single and you buy 2 or 3 bedroom condo, there's nothing bad in leasing one of the room, if only two out of the 3. You'll be able to have more disposable income. Start with passive investment activities. Regardless of how small it is, the moment additional income is coming in without you putting much effort, you are passively increasing income. Better off. You receive $100 today, $100 next week, $100 the other week. You are better off. And you minimize your expenses. Minimize your expenses. Turn off the lights. Do the laundry late hour weekend. Stop buying coffee outside. Have your own coffee pot. Buy 40 pack of water instead of buying from the vending machine. Pop your gas early in the morning or late in the night. Mindful of your expenses. Utilize the credit card with cashback and ready to pay back the charges within the grace period. Seek for bargains. Even they don't offer the bargain, ask. Nothing bad from asking. I'm not going to take much of your time. I scheduled this section to be 1 hour. Again, the focus here is maintaining your credibility, taking the best advantage or advantages of credit card. Be mindful of your disposable income, minimizing or estimating the loopholes. Start smart passive investments to attain financial independence. Again, this is Dr. Remy. Look out for another interesting financial literacy section. Have a good one. Bye for now.